I used to wonder why some goals just felt inevitable, like they'd happen no matter what, and others felt like a constant struggle. And after a lot of really great conversations recently and a lot of reflection over the last couple of years, I've started to realize that there's two levels of belief that can impact our results. This became really clear to me because I was looking back over a lot of annual planning stuff that I've been doing over the last couple of years. And there's just been this constant theme of noticing that in some areas of my life, results and success feels easier, it comes more naturally, there's less doubt with it. And then there's some areas of my life that feels way more like a roller coaster. It feels a lot harder. There's more friction. There's more ups and downs. And it had me get really curious about why is it in certain areas I feel a certain way and in others I don't? And how is that impacting my results? And for me, I've always seemed to find physical health goals come quite naturally. And things like confidence in finding a great partner and building a family, that didn't feel hard. There wasn't as much doubt and resistance and uncertainty around that. Whereas when I look at my business, I feel a lot more of that doubt, uncertainty, resistance. There's a lot more of an emotional roller coaster that comes with that. And I just got really curious, like, why is it that in certain domains it's one way and in others it's a different way? And I started to notice that there's two layers or two levels of personal belief. And there's surface level belief, which, to use an analogy of the ocean, you're on the surface, it's really choppy, the waves can come out of nowhere, the weather impacts the waves. So at certain times it's really choppy and the waves are massive. At other times they're a lot smaller. But when you're a swimmer on the surface, that's a wild ride. There's big waves where you're up at the top and then you go down to the bottom and a wave crashes over you. It's a lot more reactive and there's a lot more scarcity. There's a lot more fear with how do I get out of this? When's the next wave coming? There's a lot more frantic search for like, what do I do next? How do I deal with this next wave? And the time horizon and approach and perspective is a lot shorter. We want results now. It's a lot more micro-focused. Everything feels really time sensitive. And when you're in this surface level belief, there's a lot of identity and ego wrapped up in it too. Everything feels very personal. This next wave, what does that mean about me as a person? And especially in areas that are important to you. So this surface level belief, we ride the roller coaster. Maybe it's your business like me, like the results are good, everything's amazing, and then it's not so good. And that doubt creeps in and the belief isn't as constant. It's a lot choppier. It's a lot more of a roller coaster. On the flip side of that, there's deep belief. And this is what I just didn't really know existed until I started to look at these two different areas of my life where I was getting different results and it felt easier in certain domains. Deep belief is quieter. It's deeper. If the swimmer at the top is dealing with all the waves, the surfer at the bottom is the calm, deep sea diver, free diver that's just holding their breath. They're calmly down at the bottom, just hanging out with the fish and the nature down there, very zen-like, and they're patient, they're calm. There's an unshakableness that they have down in the deep where it's not as choppy. The water's calmer. And the sense that you have down there is there's more groundedness, there's more trust in yourself. And that deep belief just seems inevitable. You don't really question it. And often, in my case, you don't even know it exists, that level of belief. It's just kind of been there. And until you start to zoom out and look at the different domains, you can start to notice that there's different levels of belief that you have in these domains and how does that impact how you show up. So notice where you are. If there's a domain in an area of life or work that seems really hard, are you on that surface roller coaster in the chop of the water and the waves and the wind versus those areas that you naturally get results quite easily and it comes more quickly as it seems anyways. You're probably in that deeper space of it's just inevitable that this thing's going to happen. So an invitation for you is to look at these different domains of your life, whether that's career, whether that's you're an entrepreneur and you're building your business, and maybe it's relationships, personal relationships, building a family, personal finances, health, whatever that is. Look at those different areas and look at the results that you're getting in those areas. Where are you getting results and where you're not getting results? And then start to apply these 2 levels of belief. In that area, are you surface level belief or are you deep belief? Are you constantly scratching around, nervous about what's going to happen next, riding the roller coaster of the waves? Or are you deep down just trusting that what you want to create is inevitable and there's less doubt and uncertainty? So I hope this distinction between these 2 levels of belief helps you see how you're showing up in different domains and how you can draw on areas that have brought success and ease and flow and start to apply that to other areas. It's been really interesting for me to start to bring that different perspective to how I'm approaching my business and the impact that that is having. As always, if you have questions, please let me know. And if you disagree, I'd love to hear from you. This is like an interesting new concept that's come up for me personally, and I've been sharing that with some clients as well. Take care. Have fun.